Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And welcome to a new episode on the channel, and today we talk about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in these really hot cloaks. Yes, really hot. That's why the aircon on. Anyways, today we talk about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and which is the last installment of the Harry Potter series. So I know I'm trying to start the Kickstarter. So, I won't tell you what the Kickstarter is about, but for now, let's just talk about Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. I'll explain at the end of the video. Alright, about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the final installment of the epic tale of Harry Potter. And the quote on the back of this book says, "Neither can live while the other survives, and one of us is about to leave for good." Harry Potter. That is one of the most brilliant things I have heard in my whole life. Not more like a knife or something. Oh, wait a minute, this is a ruler. I meant more something like a sword, where it's pretty much everything here. I mean, the Deathly Hallows is where Voldemort gets killed. I mean, that genie is a Horcrux. Wait, what? When are we talking about Horcruxes already? Go back! And so we're first going to talk about a little bit about the history of Hogwarts. Now, Hogwarts was created by these magnificent people. 2 boys, actually 2 wizards, and 2 witches. And so then, that's actually how it works. Firstly, we have Godric Gryffindor. He's this guy, the head of Gryffindor, looks a lot like a Viking, except he doesn't have a helmet. Oh, and also he has a sword in his positions. Wait, why isn't it? Alright, so this is a goblin-made fake Godric Gryffindor sword. And it's his. Well, according to the history, it's actually stolen. But he actually stole it, but still it doesn't really matter. It still is for now. And then we have Raven. We have Hufflepuff. Hegla Hufflepuff, I believe. Yeah, it's Hegla Hufflepuff. Actually, I'm just going to refer to them by their last name. So, Hufflepuff is this old chicky woman. This chicky old woman. And she's really smart. She also has a goblet. Wait a minute. A goblet. Her goblet. Which also has a symbol on it. And also, one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. And so then, who next? Well, next is Ravenclaw. Now, Ravenclaw is this woman, and as you can see, on her forehead, there is her tiara. And finally, the evilest of them all, Salazar Slytherin. A red-eyed, bald Slytherin. And so I guess there's a white beard. It's got something to do with Merlin. I don't know, Voldemort. But Voldemort is descended by them. These 4 people started having good things with each other. They were good friends. Until Salazar Slytherin started being a bum dude and used magic to make him get out of... Use magic to make him get out of here. And now he's gone. Where is he? He's just gone somewhere else. Nobody knows where. But he does have descendants eventually. And so then they all died. But they did leave all of their possessions behind. He left his sword. And she left her tiara, which is actually part of Lego, so I can't actually take it off. She left her goblet. And also Salazar Slytherin left his locket. And so that's actually how it works. It's literally everything. Now back to the Deathly Hallows. What is the Deathly Hallows? Well, you might know about all those Christy Andersen fairy tales, right? Well, like Cinderella, the Tale of and the Seven Dwarfs, Rapunzel, yeah, all those stuff. Well, there's also different fairy tales in the magic world. And one of them is called the Deathly Hallows. Well, not actually the Deathly Hallows, because, well, actually the adult version is called the Deathly Hallows, but it's been modified eventually. Modified a little bit, so that when it's a children's story, it actually became sort of a title mixture. So it's about these things. Where there was once three brothers, and they were very powerful magicians. They were traveling throughout the world, and then they came across this riverbank. Now, this is magic, so it doesn't really make sense here, but it's still some stuff. I mean here that even if there are all those muggle fairy tales we have learned about and heard about, I have to say, they're nothing compared to the Deathly Hallows. Anyways, back to the story. Basically, there were three brothers, and so they just took their wands. Wait, I have a wand here. So they took their wands, simply waved their wands, and cast a spell to make a bridge that would allow them to cross the river. And Death was really hatred of the idea. He wanted to kill them immediately. Well, as soon as possible. But he was really tricky. And so he went onto the bridge, in the middle of the bridge while the three brothers were crossing, and said, "Congratulations! You have conquered death. And so I will give you 3 prizes." And it turns out the prizes were actually tricks, but they didn't know it yet. The first and oldest brother asked for something, the most powerful wand in the world. Nothing else would be out of it. And it was called the Elder Wand. It was eventually renamed in different things like the Death Stick. I don't remember the other name, but still it was more commonly known as the Elder Wand. And he went back, getting his wand as an unbeatable wand. Yay. And the most powerful wand in the world, so pretty much great. And then the second brother, who was a bit wiser, but a little bit more arrogant, and also younger than the first brother, asked for something that can rise the dead. And so Death did this. He made a stone called the Resurrection Stone. And he gave it to him. It can raise the dead, and so that he can see them once again. And the third brother, who was the youngest and the wisest of them all, didn't trust them completely. But he decided to do one thing. He asked for a cloak that would cover him all, make him invisible, even to Death himself. And even every charm that works onto it bounces off. Nothing would happen to him if he wore the cloak. And so Death was pretty frustrated by this last brother, but then he gave the last brother Death's own invisibility cloak. Why would Death need an invisibility cloak? It's because that Death just hides himself, and so that he can kill people without them knowing. And so that's actually how it works. And then they separate. The first brother comes into and makes a duel. And so he uses his Elder Wand to defeat every duel he has. And then when he was sleeping, Death conquered some sort of jealous person, stole the wand while that first brother was sleeping, and slit his throat. Then the second brother was pretty much there. And once it was there, it's pretty much sure that he used the Resurrection Stone, turned it 3 times over his hand. he saw the person who he was engaged to, and then realized that she wasn't supposed to be here, so he killed himself and the resurrection stone. Death had two brothers, but their brother was really complex. He used the invisibility cloak to hide himself from death for years and years, until he got a son and gave his cloak to his son and greeted death like he was an old friend. And death reunited all the three brothers together under his cloak. That's the end of the Deathly Hallows. But it turns out the fairy tale was true. And it had this. The line, that's the Elder Wand. The circle, that's the resurrection stone. And the triangle, that's the invisibility cloak. And with all of these, Voldemort was going to get immortality. Now first we saw that he was going to get using Horcruxes to get immortality. And that meant destroying something with destroying something with the Sword of Godric Gryffindor or Basilisk Venom. And some sort of a weird fire. But then eventually it happened like this. Now I'll list all those Horcruxes and destroyed in order. Firstly, Harry destroyed the Diary of Tom Marvolo Riddle, who was commonly known today as Voldemort's diary, in book 2 of the Harry Potter series, called Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And then Marvolo Gaunt's ring was destroyed by Dumbledore, as it goes into the book, in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, with the Sword of Godric Gryffindor. Then the Locket of Slytherin was destroyed by Ron Weasley with the Sword of Godric Gryffindor. Then the Cup of Hegla Hufflepuff was destroyed by Hermione Granger with a Basilisk Venom tooth. Actually, I should say fang. And finally, Neville Longbottom used Godric Gryffindor's sword to kill Nagini, the last Horcrux. And Harry Potter himself was a Horcrux, an accidental Horcrux. That's why Voldemort was not able to kill him, and also partially because of her mother's love on him. And the Horcrux inside Harry was destroyed by Voldemort himself with the Abacadabra. How would you pronounce it? That killing curse. And Voldemort himself, he was the last Horcrux. He was destroyed at last time. And then he was gone. And so it's actually just like that. Dumbledore died, the Elder Wand was passed down to Malfoy, Voldemort thought it was Snape, killed Snape, but then got the wrong person. Harry betrayed Malfoy, got the wand, and also it was, in person terms, the Elder Wand was Harry's. But Harry didn't want it. He decided to return it to his own place, so he used the Elder Wand, the most powerful wand, to repair his old broken wand, and eventually just hid the Elder Wand and wished for a natural death, so that nobody else would be able to use the Elder Wand. And so, yeah, I guess this is the end of the Harry Potter series, except there's an epilogue. Now, epilogue happens 19 years later after Harry Potter destroys Voldemort. This happens. He's married to Ginny. Ron is married to Hermione, as far as I know. They got three children. One's called James, one's called a daughter called Lily, and the other's called Albus Severus Potter. While Ron and Hermione have got I don't remember, some green. Yeah, actually, Rose Granger Weasley, I believe. And then they became like sort of cousins and stuff. And eventually in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, according to the epilogue, they get their children all the way onto King's Cross Station so that they will go all the way to Hogwarts. Oh, and Neville Longbottom, He's a professor in herbology. Which isn't really much a big role to me, but Neville was really good at herbology anyways, and so I'm guessing it's still pretty much great to do that. And once that's over, all those things start coming up. And Albus Severus Potter asked this question to his dad. What if he is in Slytherin? Well, if he was in Slytherin, Harry said that even if he was in Slytherin, you could ask the Sorting Hat to put you in Gryffindor. And he told him that in his first year, as we saw in Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone, the Sorting Hat put him in Gryffindor because he asked to be in Gryffindor. And so, then they left for the train. For 19 years, the scar didn't hurt him. All was well. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video was very long than the other Harry Potter videos because this one had so much detail inside it. And even with the devil mark, the deadly Hallows mark, even on ourselves, there is still a lot of chance that we still have a great Harry Potter thing to do. And as I promised to inform you, I'll tell you what the Kickstarter is about. Something related to Harry Potter. I'll not spoil anymore. See you. Shinhan out.